Hi guys, so today I'm excited again because we're still talking about functions in general. And like I said, function is one of my favorite topic in math, and I think you'll be able to learn a lot. And today we're going to talk about radical functions. So we're going to know how to find the domain and range of the radical functions, how to sketch the graph of radical functions, and also how to solve equations of radical functions. Okay, equations involving radicals. Okay, so the first set um, of this video, we are going to start with how to find the domain of radical functions. But before we continue, I want you guys to know that I have compiled all the questions that has been coming for the past 6 years for the in an exam. So all the questions that you are going to see in this question bank have come, like they were coming in an exam. So if you want to understand everything that has been coming in an exam and all the trick for you to pass exam, this PDF is here to help you. On our hub, the website, you are going to find the full video of this PDF and also the same PDF which has got answers. So we have got the PDF which has got answers and also the video that is explaining the same questions. So if you want to register, check the link in the description or go back to Google and just search Transcended Study Hub. You'll be able to find the video. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into it. The first question that we have is saying find the domain of the function. But before we answer this question, the first thing that I'm going to do is just to introduce a few things that you guys need to know. So we have f of x is equal to, if we have this square root of x, anything in the square root, you can never have a negative number in the square root. Therefore, the numbers that can fit in the square root starting from 0 all the way going to positive infinity. So what I mean here is get what is in the square root greater than or equal to 0. Starting from 0 going to positive infinity, that is going to be defined. That is norm. Now, in a case where this square root is below the what? Or it is in form of rational. We know that 1 over x, I can never have 0. X should never be equal to 0. I can never have 0 on the denominator. That is going to be undefined. But again, this is contradicting. If I follow this, then I go back and also say down there, in the square root, I know that it's going to be 1 minus x greater than or equal to 0. But if I say greater than or equal to 0, it is including 0. But we don't want to have 0. So what situation can I come up with so that this the statement should be true? It should not include 0, but it should be greater than 0. So you are just going to say what is in the square root greater than 0. So if this is now true, because you can have any number as long as it's greater than 0, it's going to be defined. So solve for x, 1 greater than, I'll start with this. I'll shift 1 to go to the other side to be -1. Divide here by -1, -1. The moment when you divide by negative, this guy changes to less than 1. Now the domain comes in like this. So the domain will be starting from negative infinity all the way to 1. 1 should not be included, because the moment when I include 1 here, it will be 0. In the square root, 0 is okay, but 1 over 0 is undefined. So 0 not included all the way to negative infinity. That is my domain. It's making sense, right? Now, if this is making sense, just imagine the question that I've compiled. A lot of questions under radical functions, equations, how to sketch, and a lot of things, even how to find the range. Check the link in the description. You'll be able to find the link for the hub, which is the website. Let's now jump into question 2. Find the domain of the function. Now, in this case, we have got the square root both sides. If the square root is on top, don't worry, just get the way it is inside the square root, put greater than or equal to 0. It only changes when it's down. Greater than or equal to 0, solve for x. X greater than or equal to -1. Leave this for now. Go back to the denominator. The down part, we know that as long as it's down and it's in the square root, you get what is in the brackets, then you say greater than 0. So for x, x is greater than 2. So x is greater than 2. Now we are going to use the number line. Okay? We are going to use the number line. So let us look at this. Let us look at this. The first one, we have -1. Then here we have what? We have 2. So starting from this point, not included, all they were going this side. Then this one is starting from this point, all they were going this side. Now I don't want you to be confused, because the moment when you find those two, then you can use now the number line. You put them on the number line, and then what you are going to see now in that case is that the answer that you are going to get is supposed to be what? Is supposed to be, you have to intersect them, because they are now 2. So intersecting this, I think the only way where now we can clearly see that it will fit, it will be here. Meaning that the domain now is 2 not included all the way to positive infinity. And this is true because if I get any number that is less than in between here, let's say I get 0. Okay? Do you think 0 is going to fit? So if I put 0 here, it's going to be negative, and I can't have negative in the square root. So now this is making more sense, and that is now my domain. So my domain is from 2 not included all the way to positive infinity. Okay? The question was just for the domain, right? Yeah. Same applies to this. The same method that I've used there, this question and this question, they're basically the same. Get what is on top there. In fact, it's the same question. So on top, you always use greater than or equal to 0, so for x. The down part, you get greater than 0, then you solve for x. Use the number line. The intersecting part will be our answer. So greater than 2 is not included, going this side. -1 is included, so is this. Now my domain is the same as the one we're from solving. That's the domain. So that's what you need to know when you come across such type of questions. This one, you're only focusing on the down part. 1 minus x squared should be greater than 0, so for x, -x squared greater than -1. Divide by -1, -1. The moment you divide by -1, this will change to less than 1. Get the square root both sides, it will be plus or minus the root of 1. So x will be less than or equal, less than what? Less than plus or minus 1. In this case, you have got 2 answers. If you have got 2 answers, you use the number line. So -infinity, positive infinity, -1, positive 1. So what you do is, we know that the way this one is, if I shift 1 to the other side, the other one will be x minus 1, and the other one will be x plus 1. So this is what we're going to use. X minus 1 and x plus 1. So here is the thing now. A number in between, I'll get 0, here I'll get a 2, and here I'll get a -2. If I put -2 here, it will be negative. Where there is x, here it will be negative. Negative and negative is positive. If I put 0 here, if I put 0 here, where there is x, this will be negative. Here it will be positive. Negative, positive, negative. If I put 2 here, positive, here positive, overall positive. what happens now here is this. I'm using these tests now. So what will happen now is that since we are dealing with less than the last sign, then you consider the part giving you negative. So from here, not included all the way to this point, that is going to be our domain. So from -1 all the way to 1, not included. This is my domain. That is making sense, right? Another set of questions is saying, find the domain and sketch the graph of this. The domain you only consider, in this case, the domain you only consider the part that is, since it has got no fraction at all, it is just a radical function. The domain you consider the part that is in the square root only and equate greater than or equal to 0. That's all. So for x, 16, 2x, so you shift 16 to go to the other side. Negative 2x greater than or equal to negative 16. Divide both sides by -2, -2. So therefore x, when you divide by negative, this changes. So it will be positive what? Positive 8. Therefore the domain is from negative infinity all the way to 8, but 8 is included. Now let's sketch this, and using the graph we're going to have the range. Just come up with just 2, even 3. The first number that we're going to use is this, but we're going toward negative infinity. So we'll start with, I'll put 8. The next number I'll choose 7. Okay, I'll choose 7. The next number I'll choose 6, just like that. So if I put 8 here, it's going to be 16. So 16 minus 16, it will be 0. The square root of 0 is 0. Then 3 plus 0 is going to give us a 3. If I put a 7, it will be 2 times 7 is 14. It is 14, right? So 2 times 7 is 14. 16 minus 14, that is 14, 15, 16 is a 2. So you have now a 3 plus root of 2. So it will be a 13, or 3 plus root of 2. If I put 6, it will be 12. 16 minus 12 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. After doing this, you can now come up with a graph. In x, we have got 6, 7, and 8. In y, we have got 5, 3, then there's 3 plus root of 2, and 5. So the graph will start with the domain where it is starting from, which is 8,3. So 8,3 is here. Next, we have got 7, this, which is going to be here. Then 5,6 is there. So the graph goes starting from this point, going this side. That's the graph of this guy. Now, what is the range? The range, we are looking at the graph in y-axis. In y, we are starting with from 3 going to positive infinity. Therefore, the range is starting from 3 all the way to positive infinity. That marks the end of this part. Okay? Yeah.